Hello and welcome to my Elite Dangerous, the day-to-day grind. We're at Sothis system and at Dawn Inheritance. It's on a return trip, cargo trip from Ceos, where we ran some reputation missions. So to build some reputation down there, because I'm in most of these stations. I have allied status, maximized ally status. Get all adjusted here in my chair. And so it brought me back to Dawn's Inheritance instead of Sothis Mining Station. So I haven't looked over the missions yet, and I will do that. Sys right. Back to the 5077, 5.077 billion. I had dropped to about 5.065 something around in there because I was I donated some money to build my superpower faction reputation. So it was down to like 77, and now we have 99 for Federation, 98 for Empire, and 95 for Alliance. So you almost have to go to those systems, go to a system for Empire and Alliance about once a week to build that back up, to top it off, keep your allied status up. And okay. But while you're watching, if you would scroll down slightly and look to the right, there's the subscribe button. If you would press that, it's the red and white. It doesn't cost you anything, but it sure helps publishers out. So please click that. And to the left, you'll see my channel name, GFM_RDG. So if you would look over my channel, you see there's a featured video on 6 interdictions and 1 Super Cruise run. That was in Ceos, which is next door to Sothis, where we are right now. And I probably have made $1 billion just from Ceos and Sothis alone in cargo missions. So what this series is doing is showing you how I make credits. Plus it's to incorporate my play with the videos, so you can run along with me as I build credits and reputation and those types of things. And then when I get bored with running missions, which it's easy to do now, it's less when you tag along and I can converse with you. I get bored less, so that's kind of what I'm hoping too. So okay, so let's look here in the missions. So, but if you would watch more of my videos, that would help me too, because what YouTube watches for their publishers is subscriptions and hours watched total for all the viewers together. And right now I have about 300 unique viewers as of this video. And I am so thankful for all of you that have watched my videos. And I just need that to continue to increase. Okay, so there's internal report deliveries. Now these, you don't, well, if you die while you have those in possession, they respawn with you in your sys left in your missions. Sys left. They're safe, but they don't pay very much. And then you have missions like this one where it says 6,072 units and they pay 10 million. Well, that sounds really good, but even in my cutter, this would take almost 10 loads in a cutter for that. So you're only making about $1 million a load. Well, if the cards fall right, I can make over 22 million a load. So instead of 1.3 million a load. So those are not so good. Now these are better. It only takes 56 units of my 280. And let's see where it's going. It's going to New Dawn. There's quite a bit from here that go to New Dawn. Now this is a planetary landing, Sinclair, with interdictions. Planetary landings are a little more of a pain than orbital stations. So right now we're just trying to see what each of the stations' missions are. And this one, I don't have very much reputation with them, so a donation is probably good. Help build my reputation, which it built it a little bit. And we can make so many credits going back and forth from Sothis to Ceos. So that's easy to make up. Again, deliver 4227. Watch out for those. I don't like those. Just because it takes so many deliveries for such little reward. And this one's okay. Babbage is where my cutter's at. So from here, most of it's going back to New Dawn, which is good. I think we can make more from Sothis mining station than we can from the other stations within Sothis. But you got to they're not going from Sothis mining station to Ceos, New Dawn, or one of the other stations, then back to Sothis mining. So you're trying to maximize the round trip, but it's a little difficult to do that. We can go to other stations, and I am looking for an excuse to go to the other stations. That's probably what we'll do from here. I would like to go to Brunel. That's where I'd like to go, to check out the missions there too. And that's kind of what this video is going to be about, is or the next few videos, is checking out the other stations. So I'd like to go to Brunel. So let's see how many Brunels that we can get. And that's 96. I mean, it's not great. It's not going to get us up to 10 million because it's only like 1.2. And it's going to eat up about a third of my load at that. So they're not great. They're not like the over 5 million for a half a load. And that's really what we'd like to have. Now, if you go out and find progenitor sales and bring them back, then they'll pay you 8 million or 9 million, almost 9 million, but that's almost cutter size, or it would be. So I'm not real excited. Kind of want to go back over to Sothis Mining. I think there's better missions there than there is here. Sis left. So it's all for the amount of money it's or credits. It's best to make your way back to Sothis Mining. Now we'll find excuses to go to each station to look over their missions, like Brunel and Babbage and Seos. So it seems to be best, which it has in the past too, to make your way over to Sothis Mining when you get back to Sothis system.
Gear retracted.
Ship released. Clear for departure.
Now at some point the pirates are going to get in a frenzy because they know I'm here, I'm running missions, and that's where I get 6 interdictions in one Super Cruise run. So I mean, that's going to happen at some point. So that's the warning that I give you, is how many interdictions you can stand, and if your ship is ready for it. See, mine, I have engineer modded modules, so it helps me with shields, it helps me with the thrusters and the engines and all of those things. So we're just waiting for the auto launch to complete. Someone going into Super Cruise or hyperspace right next to you. That's always a good wake up. Okay. I need to check the status of the recording. Everything seems to be good in that regard. So right now, Sis left. Sis left. We are almost 5 kilometers from the station and climbing. And next to the Earth-like planet in Sothis. Just waiting to be cleared so we can go into Super Cruise. And you see that you might see the wake floating, starting to float by from a Super Cruise run. Sis left. Checking status of the distance from Don's Inheritance. I believe we can find missions that are greater than 4.5 million per mission.
Way ahead is clear. Federal Flight Control signing off.
Frameshift drive charging.
At Sothis Mining. That's why we're going back over there for now. There will be times within this day-to-day grind I'll make excuses to go to each of the stations within Sothis and each of the stations within Seos. Now, when I go into Super Cruise, at some point I'm going to immediately have a pirate on my tail and listing up in the comms how he's going to come after me, and you know, it's the end of me and all this other kind of stuff. And now I'm not saying I can't be killed, it's just it hasn't happened in about 6 months since I first started playing. What my plan is when I get interdicted, let's say I get knocked out of interdiction, I go max speed and then boost while I hit a heat sink because they're shooting thermal weapons at me, lasers. And so that's to bring the temperature down so I can get back into Super Cruise. And my shields normally hold up well enough that I'd only lose one ring, even if there's multiple pirates coming out of Super Cruise to all bombard me at the same time. The ship's pretty fast. With boost, it's faster. And the shield's holding up. I can get back into Super Cruise. It's just staying calm enough to do all those things that you need to do. Sis left. Because no one wants to die. Now, in the Python, the way it's outfitted right now, it costs me about 3.2, I think it is, million to replace with the insurance. When you have 5 billion, 3 million doesn't hurt as badly. That's why it's good to build your credits. And so those things, as much as the competitor in you does not want to die, because you don't want to ever die, because you want to say you beat it. And there's always that possibility. So that's what the insurance is for, and that's what 5 billion in credits is for. Because the fines that you get because you couldn't deliver the cargo is easily paid for when you have billions of credits. So that's what I'm trying to help you with now, is to see how you can make millions per run, which turn into billions. And is it worth it for the interdictions? Now in the interdictions, you just have to experience them yourself. Like for me, it's worth, well, sort of. I'm never going to like interdictions. I mean, that's clear. I'm going to always fuss about them. But to gain billions of credits, sometimes you have to do what you have to do, and that's deal with pirates and their interdictions. So, Sis left. And I know I ramble. I'm trying to get my thoughts over to you.
Docking request granted.
Kind of where my thought process is when it comes to making credits and things. There's other ways of making credits, and I want to go through all of those ways with you, so you can find out what works best for you. Scanning planets through the Road to Riches website, where you can make 800,000 average per scan, is pretty good, because you can go to systems that are not populated, and you have less interdictions that way, and much less. It's kind of rare to get interdicted, but I do get interdicted at times, even doing the Road to Riches, and I have no cargo.
Engines disengaged.
So it is possible. So we are back to Sothis Mining, and what I'm expecting is I'm going to be able to find missions greater than 4.5 million, and that's the idea. Question is what system do we go to? Now this is New Dawn, the other half, so at some point Sis left. I have 24 total hours, so I got 12 hours, or almost 13 hours left to deliver that. So I can do that on another run. But let's see where we're at. That's 132, so it's almost half of my cargo space for only 1.3. So I usually like to find larger payouts than that. There is a 2.9. Here's a 2.2 to New Dawn. Most of the ones from Sothis Mining are to New Dawn, so that wouldn't be bad, because then I could fill up the other half of the other, and then this. So we take that in consideration. Now what I can do too is say, just show me transport missions that pay credits. So show me those. So that's better. A little easier to see. So right now there's a 2.9 to New Dawn. It's not the over 4, but you know, it's part of the grind. Some millions are better than no millions. Now here is a 6.1 to Brunel. Like I said, I'm looking for an excuse to go to Brunel, and that's a pretty good excuse. I mean, it's not the 8, but it is a 6. And again, a 6 is not bad. I think that's the largest one. So what I need is other missions going to Brunel. See, there's one at 1.5. It's not what we would like to have, but it is going to the same place as our 6 million. Is this right? And right now we have 145 left. See, we can't even get all of this one on there, so that's makes it less appealing to Brunel. And it is a little time consuming, you know, making the decisions of where you're going to go. So we need to stay under the 145. Now there's a 144 Brunel, so yeah, we got to take that one. Is this right? Okay, 279 out of 280. So that's about as close as we're going to get. Going to Brunel. Now, is this left? So this will be pretty good, because we've got almost 7.7 and 6.1, so 13.8. Yeah, 13.8 million to Brunel. Not bad. That's not bad at all. Let's do that. See, that's what I'm saying. If you manage it correctly and have 2 missions going to the same place, you can make almost 14 million. And that's what we're going to do here. We're going to make almost 14 million going from Sothis Mining to Brunel Hub. That's how you make billions. Okay, so we're going to do that. We are fueled up. Let's go to Brunel. I've been wanting to go over there anyway to see what their missions are right now. Because if you can get inter-system missions in CEOS, I can use the cutter and I can make up to 22 million. Probably even over that
Landing
if
gear retracted.
all the missions
Ship
fall
released. Engines engaged.
correctly. The problem is you don't get all 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 million for each every mission. And I haven't locked in yet. Sis left. Sothis, so our CEOS. Put up the galaxy map. Brunel, so this is the first one. Okay, so that's where we want to go. We're 4.5 kilometers away from Sothis Mining. Just waiting for Sothis Mining to release us. Now again, I'm playing it strictly by the rules and all of that, staying under the 100, and like my son has said, he doesn't think he's ever been fined for speeding. But they can. I've never been fined for speeding, but I can.
Frameshift drive.
I could
charging.
have exited to the main menu and came back, and I'd be 10 kilometers away from Sothis Mining, and it'd save me some time. You do get criticism from the purists about that. They don't like that. And it really shouldn't matter. I'm in solo mode and I'm not affecting anybody. And I should play the way I like to play. But, you know, I'm trying to appease the masses. So, you play the way you want to play is what I'm trying to say. However you want to play, especially if you're in solo mode, you play the way you enjoy playing. That's the way I want you to play. What brings you the most entertainment, you play. Yep, big haul. Like that. Surprised you made it this far. Yep. There's our pirate friends. Well, friends is a little much, but Sis left. See if we can get there before we get interdicted. I kind of doubt it because he's on my tail. So they're starting to figure out that I'm here. And yes, the Oculus Rift controllers are not like a HOTAS, so they're not as refined. So it's not as easy to chase it, especially when they really take off. See if we get up here before the next one. And watch your sensor. See if another one pops up, because at some point they will. Yep, there's another one. I'd rather just take them on. This is number 2. And he's taken off. So we're trying to stay ahead of him. I'm using my yaw controller side mostly. Oop, here they come. I think they're coming. I think they've figured it out. Because I'm getting more and more show up on the sensor. And sometimes they take you further and further away from the station. And most of the time they'll get right on your tail. They won't go to other places if they're looking to interdict. Most of the time they can, and I'm zoomed all the way out, so usually those in the furthest away from my position most of the time are not going to interdict, but we got to watch the planets and the gravitational pull when you go by them. If you get interdicted when you're next to the planet, they can run you into the planet. So I don't like that either. I'd rather just take them on and have to deal with the escape vector. The Python is much easier to deal with interdictions than the cutter, so I always have to take that in consideration too. And they'll come down out of Super Cruise right on.
The Federation welcomes you. Follow station protocols and enjoy your visit, Commander.
And they'll come in right on top of you here at the stations. So you'll get to see that too. Sys left. So I want you to see everything that happens. That's why I'm recording constantly.
Request approved. Assigned to landing pad 20. Clear for automated approach vectoring.
And that message up there is probably a warning about enemies. I don't have combat rank, so I don't exit and try to take them on. I believe they're NPCs, they're computer generated, and I believe the computer just makes more. And you only get maybe 150,000 credits for going through that risk of being killed, of taking them on. For me, it's better just to try to get through the escape vector. If I get knocked out of Super Cruise, then max speed, max boost, use heat sinks to get back into Super Cruise and take them on again. So we had 2 interdictions in that one Super Cruise run. And my featured video on my channel shows 6. So they will get up to that point. Sys up.
Touchdown. Engines disengaged.
So, Big Haul, like that. Surprised you made it this far. That's the ship I've been looking for, the one with the big haul. You're mine now, Commander. I've found my next target. And it's you, Commander. So, those are the kind of messages you can expect. Okay. When we cash these in, I'm at 5076.3. So 5076. Trying to remember that. Don't need reputation, just want the funds.
Incoming message.
See, that's almost 14 million. It's within like 100K of being 14 million. So, yeah, like 13.8 million. It's even over that, but yeah, That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, until the next video, that's enough for this one. Again, scroll down to the right, click the subscribe, follow me. You'll learn how to make billions of credits too. I mean, you will. I mean, this is how I make my billions of credits. And we'll do all kinds of things, you know, to try to keep it the game exciting. And it's hard to get bored when you're being chased by pirates. Practice your interdiction avoidance. You know, circle around the station and come in the backside. That way, at least you can see. When they're after you, they're after you. There's not any getting around that. And yeah, you could squeeze into the station, but you also can get thrown into the planet. So, I mean, you got to weigh everything. So, please subscribe to my channel and go to my channel also at GFM_RDG. Watch my other videos. Until next time, there'll be more drama, more 13.8 plus missions in one run. So until the next video, thank you for watching.